As an executive coach, oftentimes the frustration is that you spend all of this time and effort and passion and excitement to really support your clients to achieve what they need to achieve, and then they don't do it. This is Arthur Carmazzi, best-selling author and currently ranked as one of the world's top 10 thought leaders in organizational culture and leadership. And welcome to the Nights of Transformation. Today we're going to be talking about why coaching goes wrong. So I want you to think about this, okay? Can you coach an individual as an individual if you're going to be trying to get a group result? And well, it's not going to be that easy. I mean, if you're going to be talking about the individual as an individual for his personal life and his personal things and the things that he's got to deal with personally, that's great. But executive coaching is about getting group results. It's about getting results in your team, in your organization, and that requires something else. So first of all, let's look at the current model. In the current model, a coach will coach an individual as an individual. Now, that individual may make some discoveries, make some awarenesses about themselves, but then they go and they try to apply it in the environment. Now, the environment is always affecting them. It's always creating some issue or something, and then the person reacts to that environment, they react back, and then you have a situation where the person who is being coached, the client, oftentimes does not actually implement based on what they have discovered about themselves. Why? Well, basically because culture is the soup that determines the flavor of the carrot. And yes, you are the carrot. What does that mean? I'm speaking in metaphors. All right, so let's look at it. Okay, you're a carrot. You go into the soup. You got different spices in the soup. Different spices are going to make up a different flavor. It's kind of like if you have pepperoni pizza, which is really good, and then you also have chocolate chip mint ice cream, which is really good, and you mix them. It's not going to taste so good. Why? Because, well, you can take in two great things, but they just don't mix, right? So if you are developing a person to be a more effective leader, to achieve results in a team, you got to know what the team's about. You got to know what the culture is about. So if you are going to effectively get people to achieve their goals within an organization or a team, you need to know the environmental factors or the culture factors they are working in the first place. Why? Because if you don't, okay, you're not going to get the complete perspective. Why? Because your client, as a coach, okay, is going to have a family. Now, in their family, they're going to have different facets of who they are come out. And those things within that group environment are going to be really great. But when they go out with their friends, they're going to have something different. And when they're at work, they're going to have different facets of who they are that come out. Now, you can say, oh, but we're going to address those things. Okay, but address them in reference to what? Without the reference of what the culture is like, well, you're going to have limited information, limited intelligence about how to really help your client. Why? Because your client is still going to be reacting to the things in the environment, which in some cases they come up with these great realizations about themselves, but when they go back, it's like people just didn't respond. Why? Because they were not connected to the cultural elements that they are trying to apply it in. They were only connected to the personal elements that they were trying to apply it in. So let's look at the cultural factors that affect coaching success. Of course, the culture of the organization itself, the levels of influence of the organization's senior leadership is also going to be a factor. the self-perception versus the perception of others. This is a major factor because how you see yourself is not always going to be the way that other people see you. And of course, the different communication processes, different perspective of what is the right way to do things, different levels of risk sensitivity, lack of clarity for big picture direction, and of course, reactions to misunderstandings and miscommunication. So all of these are factors that are going to affect your client. But here's the thing, what makes them happen? Why are they happening? What are the foundations of culture or of your client's culture that are creating those? And is your client actually creating some of these things that are having negative results and you don't even realize it? See, sometimes we think we're doing things at a certain level, we think we are a certain way, but other people perceive things differently than we do, and since we don't know, we can't change it. So understanding the elements of how people are perceiving who you are, so basically identifying the gaps between how you perceive yourself and how others perceive you. We recommend you take the emotional drive mirrored assessment to identify your gaps. And you can find that at emotionaldrive.net. Okay, there's also a link below if you're on the YouTube channel. Okay, and of course, then the culture evolution evaluation. So this is a free test that you can take that will benchmark your culture, identify what culture you're at. Of course, it's better if you take it across the organization rather than one individual, but that in itself is going to get you started to move towards supporting your clients as a coach to develop themselves within the culture and actually take action and get the results that they want. This is Arthur Carmazzi wishing you great success. Thanks for watching the Nights of Transformation. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, subscribe to Carmazzi TV on YouTube.